Today might just be the saddest day in Park to Prem FM23. Bow your heads, a moment of silence for Teixeira and his 20 jumping reach. Ladies and gentlemen, we've lost him. Jumping reach, 19. He's never going to be the same again, is he? How's it going, folks? Welcome back to episode number 86 of Park to Prem. Besides the Teixeira news, I am a little bit more positive today, but still, it's a sad day. I've seen the comments over the last few seasons saying, when Jack sees Teixeira's jumping reach drop, it's going to be the worst day ever. Let me tell you now, it's been a rough morning. There's been lots of tears. Now, if you're an eagle-eyed viewer, you might notice something on this club overview screen that's caught your eye right away. We are allegedly in the process of a board takeover. Now, the reason I say allegedly is because I've not actually had any news inbox items on it. In fact, I just had a quick look to see if I could see any of the inbox items on it. There's nothing about a board takeover. Apparently, it might be happening. But of course, if you've played a little bit of Football Manager, you're probably familiar with this situation. Often you have rumours of takeovers. They amount to nothing. At least for now, we're just going to sit on our hands and wait. Of course, last episode, it was the start of the transfer window, and this would be the point in the video where I go, hey, here's all the signings we made in January. But I didn't sign anyone in January. That said, a few players did leave us. Cameron Cooper's gone out on loan to Portsmouth. A good opportunity for him to get some regular first-team football. Sam Carpenter, the wing-back we picked up from Newcastle United, has also headed back north to Carlisle on loan. Hopefully a good chance for him to play some regular first-team football. Dale Owen, another squad player who's just gone out on loan. He is off to Scotland to play for Hibs. Again, first-team football needed for these players, hoping to inflate their value a little bit, keep them happy, keep them developing. And so far, for all three of those players, their loan spells have been okay. The only other player we've got rid of is Ruben Sandell, 19 years old. You might remember we picked him up from Bristol City for 625k last year. Hasn't really developed in his first year at the club, so when Watford was showing some interest, I was keen. And in the end, we've accepted an offer, which means we have made profit on him, but we do also get 50% of any future profit. So should Sandell end up being this world beater of a player, we will get a little bit more money back. Now, the reason I didn't sign anyone during January is firstly because our squad is already a little on the larger side, but also because players that I need to improve this squad just cost more than the money that we have. If we just look at the finances, our transfer budget is £8 million, and especially halfway through a season, in Football Manager in the last few years, teams don't like to sell players, at least not for a decent price. And so, besides transfer listed players, maybe players with contracts expiring, there's not a whole load of players available to sign. And ultimately, having done a load of scouring, I decided I'd rather pinch the pennies, save some money, rather than spend it for the sake of things. And I think, at least based on where we are in the league right now, that was the correct decision. We've got £22 million in the bank. Life's good. The bank balance is looking healthy, as is our form. Of course, last episode, not a great game against Southampton, an even worse game against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And since then, you can see we did immediately crash out the FA Cup, albeit this was a really good game against Manchester United. You can tell by the combined XG. You can tell by the number of shots. It was a proper ding-dong battle. Both teams really put in a fantastic showing. Unfortunately for us, we did come out second best. Having taken the lead early on through Abubakari, we succumbed to a defeat. Rodrigo got the all-important goal for them, and this Rodrigo bloke, I mean, I'm going to tell you now, he's rather good at football. Yeah, his mentals are actually mental. So having crashed out the FA Cup and having no other competitions to worry about, full focus on the league, and in the league, we've done reasonably well. First game here, 1-0 win against Everton. Great to get a win on the board. It was our first win in a very, very long time. Teixeira with the all-important header. Following on from that, a trip to Man City. I said, no, Man City came to us. It felt like a trip to Man City. Look, we got absolutely battered in this game. The man who got all their goals, Voloshin, 22 years old, Ukrainian player, again, quite good at the whole football thing. He got a hat-trick against us. Having drawn 1-1 against Southampton last episode, we mustered up a 0-0 draw on the road, and from there, a second clean sheet in a row, a really good win this against Middlesbrough. We had Setford in goal, they had a Setford in goal. In fact, it was an all-brotherly affair, and Charlie Setford embarrassed himself. When you see the scoreline of 3-0, you'd be forgiven for thinking this was a comfortable game. It was anything but. The first goal in this game came in the 79th minute. Gaspar with the all-important finish, and from there, we got a few more. Jaime with the ball into the box. Teixeira headed it across goal. It was ultimately scrambled in by Scotty Williams, and then in the 95th minute, The most bizarre goal I think you're going to see this year. Gaspar takes the ball down with snow on it. I think Setford must have got rain in his eyes than Middlesbrough. Either way, Gaspar scored, broke his goal-scoring duck, having, well, not scored in a very, very long time. And with confidence flowing, and with this youngster playing rather well in that game, he played even better in the next game. Because most recently, we took on West Ham away from home. This was, oh my word, this was an adventure. In this game, they were 2 goals up at half-time. Sidakov with a somewhat fortuitous goal there. I think it deflected off Schmid. I think Schmid may have even been given the own goal. And from there, they scored another. Oliver Skipp bringing the ball forward from the midfield. Pulled the trigger from range. I mean, that was a good goal. And 2 goals down at half-time. Wasn't feeling all that great about it, but in the second half, oh my, we stepped up. A little bit of fortune about this first one, but Gaspar managed to squeeze the ball in at the near post, and he was not done there. We would score another not too long later. Hame leaving the ball for Adam, bit of a scramble in the middle. Gaspar dinked the keeper to get his second of the game in the 79th minute, and we weren't content with that, because in the 94th minute, the 19-year-old stepped up for his hat-trick, scored the goal, and a comeback where we'd been 2 goals down at half-time was complete. Wasn't a good team display. We have Gaspar to thank. This man now has 10 goals in 20 games. I think he's only scored in 4 games all season. All his goals come at once. And with that recent run of form, we find ourselves in 14th. With 12 games left of the season, we are on 32 points. 3 wins in our last 5. A little bit of momentum going in our favour. And realistically, if we can get to 40 points, we will be safe. Theoretically. I mean, we should be. I look at the league table at this point, actually. It's a weird season in the Premier League where there's lots of teams massively underperforming. Peterborough, not really a surprise. Sheffield United, Wolverhampton Wanderers, West Ham, Leicester and Bournemouth, all the teams behind us. Definitely bigger surprises. They have all struggled this year. And Southampton, by the way, who we were promoted with, up in 8th place. This is the team that won the playoffs. We've drawn against them twice. They're up in 8th. They're having a grand old time. And another team who's having a very good time is Blackburn Rovers, who we are playing today in the first game. Away from home, we are heading to Ewood Park. You can see here, media prediction 17th. They're currently challenging for the European spots, which is absolutely bonkers. Fair play to Blackburn. Their key player is Angel Seguera, who is a fantastic goalkeeper. Have a sneaking suspicion he's one of the reasons why they are doing as well as they are. And ultimately, to get a result against them today would be rather good. The other game that we are going to be doing today is against Sheffield United at home. That one a little further away, a team in the drop zone. A win against them would put us in a very good spot. In fact, if we could somehow muster up 2 wins today, I'm going to say it now, we would be safe for next season in the Premier League. I hope. Anyway, game number 1 today is away from home. You know what time that is. It's time to go do an away day in Blackburn. Blackburn's not very sexy, is it? Sorry, people of Blackburn, you're not. I don't mean disrespect to the people of Blackburn, but I once had a copy of Lancashire Monopoly, and Ewood Park was one of the lower scoring areas, like on the Monopoly board. So for that reason and that reason only, I have to assume it's not very sexy. Blackburn, where are we? Here we are. I mean, look, if you're between Preston and Burnley, you're not in a sexy place in the world. I really am burning all bridges with people of the north today. I don't mean offence. Blackburn Rovers, here we are, Ewood Park, satellite view. What have you got for me? It's a classic football stadium, and it's got a car park, and also a forest next door. Wait, can we go on a walk in this forest? We can't. I'm sad. I remember when we did the Burnley away day, it was snowing in Burnley. Do you reckon the Google Street View van went around the whole of Lancashire when it was, when it was snowing? What are they hiding? What is there? I'm conspiracy theorists, let me know. What are Google trying to hide from us? I've moved 1 step forward. It turns out they're hiding the map of the stadium. No idea why. Okay, initial thought, this is a proper old school stadium, isn't it? Look at these houses next to the stadium. This has got a proper old school city ground feel. But what I will say is, it's not a small stadium by any means. Of course, just as a reminder, Blackburn, Premier League winners. And you know they're big time because they've got their club shop not in the stadium. They have a separate building for the club shop. That is the hallmark of a very big club. Just here inspecting the car park. It's a good car park. It's a classic car park. Not much to it, but you know what? Sometimes that's all you need. In terms of in the stadium, there is 1 dot. There is 1 photosphere of hope. What have you got for me, Blackburn? Here we are, Blackburn versus Leeds United. What year would this? This is from 2016. Here is the stadium. I hope they're going to fix the hill in the middle of the pitch. I mean, general thoughts. It's just an old school classic English football stadium. I'm a big fan of Ewood Park. I remember many, many years ago in LMA Manager, we've talked about LMA Manager before, in that game, you could build your own stadiums. And I used to always build my stadium to look like Ewood Park because I like the look of it. Okay, look, I was underwhelmed by the one photosphere, so I'm now on Google Earth to look at the stadium in all its 3D glory. It's not super flashy and sexy. It's not super modern. It's just a nice city-based ground next to a woods. And sometimes that's all you need. And other times what you need is an actual sexy stadium to get in a good away day score. Look, Ewood Park, I love you. I have personal bias, but I have to move that aside and look at things realistically. You've got a solid car park, love the location, but there's not a great deal else to love. So with that in mind, I'm going to give you a solid 5.5 out of 10. People of Blackburn, I'm sorry. Now, of the two games today, this is perhaps the one I can't really expect to get any points from, but anything here would be a really good bonus, especially after last episode. We got embarrassed by Wolves. I want a better performance than that previous one. In terms of team news, this is the team we're going with. I know Len Moss got sent off, but when he's not getting sent off, he's doing really well in training, and whilst that hasn't necessarily translated to performances on the pitch, I kind of just want to keep faith with him. Do you ever have those players in Football Manager that you just feel like you have to persist with? One day they've got to come good. Lemos is that man. Elsewhere in the team, Mikel Falentine is going to be playing at centre-back. This man has not been amazing since he joined us, and in fact, he missed one game earlier in the year because he was out on a night out. If you don't know, regens and the fake players in Football Manager can go AWOL. They can miss games through getting pissed at pubs. Mikel was doing that. He's not even unhappy, so I think he just likes to go out on the session Guernsey, which I can't really blame him for. But yeah, perhaps a disappointment, especially when you consider he's on £40,000 a week. Besides that, though, not too much else going on with team selection. Blaine Goller currently got a little bit of a knock, but he wouldn't be near the first team. Kavan Williams has missed quite a lot of football recently. He picked up a groin strain and has missed the last month of football. But besides that, there's not been too much to contend with. And as of late, this is the team that we've been using with reasonable success. I will just draw your attention to Chilumbu, who has not scored in, I think, 22 hours of football. Maybe today's the day he's going to score. I hope. Blackburn, of course, flying really, really high. They're pushing for the European spots at the moment, so they're going to be desperate to get a result here. As for ourselves, it's a little bit of a free hit, this one. Not a whole load of pressure on us, but nevertheless, if we could put up a resilient display, continue our good defensive run, that would be really, really nice. We've not been flawless defensively, but we've had quite a lot of clean sheets for a newly promoted team, and with a lack of goals, generally speaking, until recently, I feel like our defence really has been what has seen us be successful this year. Fofana, edge of the box of Blackburn, cuts inside, hits it. That was a bit close for comfort. Halfway through this first half, away from home, we're having a decent amount of the ball, but not creating a great deal. I suppose the silver lining is, whilst we're not having a load of chances ourselves, Blackburn are having even less. We are dictating the play nicely, holding on to possession, limiting their opportunities, and I do feel like the best form of defence this year in Football Manager is to just try and dominate possession from deep. Try and work your opportunities, look for those deep defence-splitting passes, and well, maybe we can have one here, because Jaime is on the ball. Gaspar, lovely build-up play. 1-2, Chilumbu, can he score? He can't score. He may never score again. That Chilumbu miss was a really good chance, wasn't it? If he's in form, I feel like he scores that every day. It's a sign that we are creating stuff here, though. Maybe a goal is possible. Maybe we could get a bit of a smash and grab, or maybe Josh Sargent and his ginger afro is going to cause us issues, because he's in the middle and he's scored a goal. Josh Sargent. Zealand's celebrating somewhere. I can imagine it now. Lemos lost the ball in a somewhat compromising area, but from there, Blackburn sprung a trap. Caught out of position a little bit across the board, and in the end, it's a relatively good finish, a relatively simple finish, and Blackburn take the lead right before half-time. 1-0 Blackburn. Not happy. You've been terrible so far. Sort it out. I feel like that's all that needs to be said. We might be a goal down, but this has been a really, really even game. And given the fact we are away from home against the team in the top half, I don't feel like we've disgraced ourselves just yet. But with not a lot happening to start this second half, let's make some changes. I'm going to move Machete to right wing back and bring in McKillop in the middle. Abubakari's going to come on at shadow striker. And Gadia, I feel like I need your pace, son. You are going to come and play as an advance forward. Corner for us. Jaime to whip it into Gera near post, and it's over the crossbar. I'll tell you what, if he had 20 jumping reach, maybe he gets his head over the ball there and hits the target. Probably not, but I'm going to choose to believe that that made a difference there. Not too long left of this game. I am going to look to just get a little bit more attacking with how we approach. McKillop's going to go to Segundo Volante on attack. Elsewhere, I'm going to tell the players just to go a tiny bit more direct, get rid of look for overlap. Besides that, could make a couple more changes here. Jaime's not the best of games. We're going to bring in Montero. And you know what? He's coming back from injury. Gaspar's been disappointing today. Get on Kevon Williams. Let's give our Jamaican prince some time to shine. Hopefully, he won't be coming on too late here because Blackburn are still on the attack. Josh Sargent heads it goalwards. Valentine heads it off the line. And breathe a sigh of relief, it's still 1-0. Not too long left in this game. Going to move both our centre mids forward. McKillop, centre mid on attack, my friend. Make some runs from deep. We might be leaving ourselves exposed, but we have to go for this now. One last little shout of demand more. But as we approach extra time, or added time rather, at the end of this second half, I can't help but feel like Blackburn have managed to nullify us a little bit. We were dominated in the first half. We looked like the better team. In the second half, we didn't really match that level of performance. And ultimately, it's a close game, but it's a game we've got nothing from. With that result, Blackburn continue to sit in 7th place. They really are in the fight for the top 5 spots alongside the likes of Manchester United and Newcastle United. As for ourselves, well, good news here. Wolverhampton Wanderers and Sheffield United, 2 teams in the relegation zone, both lost 3-0. And of course, that Sheffield United team that just got battered are the team that we are going to be taking on in just a mo at home. I want to believe we can win this next one. Chilumbu has yet to score for us in 20 matches. 20? He's got 11 goals in 10 games for Wales, but for us, he just can't score. It's a good job I didn't spend 6.25 million and he's our record transfer. That would be awkward. Williams has also played 9 hours without scoring, although he's made a lot more appearances on off the bench, so not as upset with him. And you might have spotted it here, I have replaced Clayton Green, our head of youth development, with Mr. Jonathan Pepper, Mr. Pepper himself. Good little head of youth development, undoubtedly an upgrade, has some really good determination. Only downside with him is his preferred formation being a 4-4-2. That is going to influence the positions that we get in intakes, but compared to what we had before, he is definitely an upgrade. Anyway, that Sheffield United game we've got coming up is 9 days away, so a good little opportunity to rest up the players. A win here could move us on to 35 points. And just as a little reminder, we have a really difficult end to the season, so the sooner we can get to that 40-point total, the better. This next game is a great opportunity to make strides towards that. Okay, this game is really, really important. As much as we look like we're in a safe position, the sooner we get over the line, the better. And this is a game against a team in Sheffield United who are not very good. If they win this, they are still 11 points behind us with 10 games left of the season. And I still feel relatively safe, but a win here, I don't want to say it too loudly. It probably all but confirms that we will be safe. And with that in mind, I need my best team available. I am going with this team here. Williams is going to come back into the team to play as a pressing forward. Aboubakari is going to play in behind. I know the YouTube comment section doesn't like Aboubakari, but ultimately this man has got 5 goals this season. He has been a vital cog in our team when it comes to getting goals to win us matches, and I feel like he's needed for a game like this. Elsewhere defensively, I was pretty happy with the midfield and defence in that previous game. We dominated possession, just gave the ball away once, unfortunately, against Blackburn. Didn't maybe take the chances that came our way going forward, but a performance to that level again, I think here, will see us come away with a win. Kevon Williams is struggling a little bit with fitness, so with that in mind, he might not last the entire game, but I just feel like we have to show some faith in him. He was so vital to us last year. He could be vital again in this match here. Gaspar has been in incredible form until that last game that we just saw, where really he didn't have a sniff. But against a team like Sheffield United that do have some good players, I want to believe that they're going to be susceptible. I want to believe we're going to be able to create a little bit more. And I want to believe today we get 3 points on the board. In the opening 10 minutes of this game, we've had 66% of the ball. So at least initially, it does look like we are dominating the ball like I would want to see us do. Worth noting, they are playing this 4-2-3-1, Sheffield United. The reality is their front 4 players are going to be the players pressing the ball. And, well, 4 players pressing against 7 doesn't really work that well. Unfortunately for us, Aboubakari's got injured after 17 minutes. Lemos, I dropped you for this game. You're back in the team. Good luck, son. Maybe today's the day that Lemos has a breakout performance, or maybe it's another day where he gets sent off. I'm going to hope it's not going to happen like that again, and I'm going to hope that maybe something can happen here, because Volder has the ball on the near side. The right wing-back was vital for us last year. This year, he and Adam at wing-back have been a little quieter, but Lemos, I mean, he's got a chance here. Maybe difficult angle, hits it. Nwosu gets an all-important stop. Disappointing finish at the end of it, but at least we've created something, and from one highlight into another, it's Lemos again. That has to be a red card. Referee! It is a red card. Sheffield United are going to make a sub off it, and, well, they're now without their centre attacking mid. And with that in mind, I'm going to change something here. Hame, Mate, you can go forward here. I'm going to play you as an advanced playmaker on attack. I feel like without a centre attack in mid to worry about, we can afford to be a little bit more attacking with the ball, and maybe Jaime can have a job for us going forward. Or Jaime. It's Jaime, not Ham. Look, I'm trying, everyone. I'll learn to pronounce names eventually, but if you've been here for the last 10 years, you know, it's a slow process. Either way, Volder has a chance here, whips it in, Gaspar's there, nods it goalwards, and I think that is going to count. I hope it's going to count. It's going to VAR. Don't hurt me, VAR, please. I need to win this game. They've had a sending off in the first half. This is the kind of game that if we don't win, it's a disaster, and it's been disallowed. It's actually been... Was it offside? I want a replay. It was offside. It was offside. That's annoying. 10 minutes left of this half. Sheffield United have not created anything, but this is the kind of game that we absolutely have to win, given the hand we've been dealt. We've got a winning hand here. Now it's about, well, just playing the hand correctly, and I'm going to hope that we can do this here. Maybe get a goal before half-time. Florentine with the ball. Gives it inside to Tejera. He gives it inside to Jaime, Machete, Lemos, Volder. Look at this build-up play. This is pretty. This is nice. Jaime dinks it. Gaspar, I think, is offside here. I don't know if it would have counted. It wouldn't have counted. The flag was raised. Sheffield United, having had a man sent off, have got 3 players on yellow cards, which, I mean, if I was a Sheffield United fan, I'd be watching this match through my fingers. But unfortunately for us, and maybe fortunately for those fans watching through their fingers, at the break, we've not found a breakthrough. Gonna tell the players I'm far from pleased. Gaspar hasn't played very well in terms of rating, but he did take the chance that came his way when he was stood offside, so I'm not going to make any reactionary changes just yet. But the longer this game goes on, the more the pressure is going to be ratcheted up to make some changes to really change the flow of this game if we can't find a breakthrough. Florentine with the ball. Machete gets to the second one. Kavan Williams down the line to Volder on the overlap. Little bit of space for the right wing back here to pick out a cross. He puts it towards Gaspar. It's hooked away. Jaime wins the ball. Adam gets their second. We're winning every second ball, it feels like. Although with Machete passing like that, it might not be enough to win every second ball because we're just giving the ball back to them. Schmid, Jaime, Machete could go right here to Volder, is going to go right. Ball played inside. Gaspar hits it. Nowusu makes a great stop, but it was offside again. Going to get shouty. We're approaching this hour mark here, and I might live to regret it. Gaspar's not played well. I'm bringing in Chilumbu. Maybe today is Chilumbu's time to shine. I'm going to change him to an advanced forward. Elsewhere, I'm tempted to make another change. I'm going to bring in Montero, and I'm going to go with the double playmaker. I know some people swear against the double playmaker. I'm going with it today. Montero, Jaime. 2 players with insane passing range. I need their defense splitting passes in a game like this. Let's also just look to go a little bit more direct. Schmid with a free kick just inside our own half. Gives it short to Jaime, who's going to look to get it wide to Adam, the left wing back. Time and space here to pick out a ball. That is one of the most disappointing crosses I've seen all year. And now Sheffield United on the attack. Of course, as we commit men forward, it's still 0-0. They could hit us on the break at any moment and cause us some real issues. But we are, well, bringing the ball forward again here. Volder crosses it. Chilumbu hits it, and that has just hit a defender on the line. I don't know if that's a miss for Chilumbu. It was a great chance. Unfortunately, there was a defender in the way. 20 minutes left here. I don't want to encourage us to go too direct too soon, but there's going to come a point here where we do have to do a little bit more. And I think that moment might be now. Distribute quickly to playmakers. Out of possession. I'm going to just up our line a little bit. Want us to press. Want us to get stuck in. Want us to try and find something here. Volder at right wing back. He's been at the heart of everything I feel like we've done today. Tejera nods it down to Florentine. Back with Volder now. Inside to Florentine. Still happy to play it around the back when we do have possession here. Want to leave Sheffield United chasing shadows. Of course, they've been without the ball for so long in this game. They are going to have some tired legs and tired minds. And, well, this could be a chance here. How's Chilumbu missed it? I think I might hate Chilumbu, everyone. It was a great ball by Montero. The ball across by Lemos was great. We've got 10 minutes left. I'm shouting demand more. Would Gaspar have scored it? Would Gaspar have been there? We'll never know. 5 minutes left. We have an XG of 2.74, but it's still 0-0. This has been a bit of a story of this season. An inability to score goals, and now they've got a corner. Surely not. Setford spills it. It's hooked away initially. Chilumbu is in pursuit. Sheffield United have plenty of men forward here. Jaime wins the ball in a good area. There is maybe one last chance here for a counter-attack. Jaime to Chilumbu. Questionable ball to Adam, but I'm not going to question it too much. Ball wide to Volder. Players in the middle. Lemos is there. Is this going to be checked by VAR? I'm scared to celebrate. It's going to count. I think Lemos has scored his first ever goal. What a time to do it. It was on the counter-attack. Sheffield United threw men forward for a corner in the very last moment. And from there, an incisive breakaway. I mean, you could see here the players are offside, but they managed to get back onside just in time. And I'm glad that Chilumbu left it to Lemos. Lemos scores the goal. And that is going to be that, surely. It's a massive win. It's a critical win. Breathe a sigh of relief. We've got away with one today. I will tell the players it's a nice victory, even though I'm not overly impressed by the performance on the whole. Oh, I mean, look, 3 points is 3 points. We're up to 35 points. And crucially, it pulls us even further ahead of Sheffield United. And with 10 games left of the season, we are in a good spot. Aboubakari's out for 3 to 4 weeks, which is far from ideal. Volder did end up picking up man of the match. He was very, very good throughout, even without the assist. I think he was one of our best players on the pitch. Apparently, Jonathan Pepper prefers Volder to Hakimi. And you know what? I'm not going to question it. Okay, maybe I'm going to question it slightly. Oh my, that last game, not relaxing, not particularly enjoyable. When they got that sending off early on, I thought it was going to be straightforward. It was anything but. Now, looking ahead to the next episode, I'm not sure when we're going to be back. I'm tempted to come back for the games against Chelsea and Tottenham towards the end of the season. They might be the last 2 games we do in the season as well. I am very conscious of the fact that we are going to have a youth intake to cover next episode. And based on the previews, I think we should be quite excited for it. So I think the plan of attack for next episode is to potentially wrap up the season, do the youth intake, maybe even do all the end of season review stuff at the end and kind of just gloss over the last few games of the year and set ourselves up for some transfer specials to end the week. I will see you guys tomorrow for more Park to Prem action. Before I go, just an update, the takeover's not happening. So that's a thing that we don't have to worry about anymore. What we do have to worry about is that youth intake. Come back tomorrow for that. I'm excited for it. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint. Until next time, it's me, Jack. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.